Good morning, everyone. First of all, a very big mazal tov to Andrew and to Penina and to all the other members of the family who have joined us here today. And the family invite everybody to say l'chaim downstairs and a little bit of breakfast. Thank you so much for sponsoring that. That's really, really lovely and such a pleasure to have you in the shul, and welcome to the community. And what a fantastic start. And please God, you'll sit together with your daughter in our little children's services, and she'll grow up and into this community with all her friends, and we look forward to very good and happy times in the future. And as I quietly said, we'd like you to come back each year at around about this time with another child. And so we are looking at the Mishnayot, at the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of the fathers, and we're just completing today the 7th Mishnah in the 3rd chapter of Pirkei Avot, in which Rabbi Chalafta ben Dosa has said that if 10 people are studying together, that means that the divine presence, the Shekhinah, will be amongst them. And then he goes on to say, actually, as a matter of fact, even if there's only 5 people who are together, they'll still have the presence of God. And if you can't manage 5 people, then at least even 3 people studying together, they will also have the presence of God, and 2 as well. And finally today he says, by the way, even if there's only 1 person who's sitting there studying Torah, the Almighty is together with him as well. And in each instance, he brings a proof text. And our proof text today is as follows. So from where do we know that even 1 person sitting and studying will have the Almighty's presence? Shnei Amar, because it says, and this is a verse which is taken, by the way, from the Chumash in Shemot, in which we are told that to build that wherever we build an altar, that is where God, wherever we cause God's name to be remembered, he will come and bless us. In every place where you mention my name, where I cause my name to be mentioned, I shall come and I shall bless you. Now there's actually a mismatch between this verse and what he's trying to say, because this is not about God causing his name to be mentioned. On the contrary, this is 1 person sitting by himself, and he's the one who's mentioning God's name. It's not God causing his name to be mentioned. So the Meforshim all kind of scratch their heads to try and get an understanding of this over here, and there are a couple of answers. One is that the Almighty doesn't ask us to require anything from us unless he has first blessed us with the means to be able to do that particular thing. So if you have a mitzvah, for example, to wear tzitzit on your garments, in the first instance, he has to grant us clothes. If we have an obligation to put a mezuzah on a doorpost, first we have to have doors and rooms and a house, otherwise you'd never be able to fulfill the mitzvah. And similarly, we cannot pray or even study unless we have a mind and a heart and a consciousness and the power of speech. So this person sitting over there who is praising God has to also remember that his ability, his very ability to be able to do that, as we say, to give a man the intelligence. So God has caused his name to be present in that place. He's the one who's behind this particular activity in a very powerful and subtle way as well. And that's the one answer. The second is that how does the Almighty express himself in this world? What is the channel through which he becomes known? And the answer is, it is through this individual, through these individuals, people who speak Torah, people who learn, they are bringing God's presence into the world, so they are the ones who are causing his name to be known, Askil. At any rate, if 10 people are together, it's a very good idea for them to study together. If they can only manage 5, do it that way, and they manage 3, but eventually they come down to just 1 single person, and this person might even feel alone. Read the story last night in our meditation class about Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, a very dear mentor of ours, who once was visiting the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the Rebbe inquired after his wife. And he said, well, no, my wife didn't come with me. I came alone. And the Rebbe said to him, what on earth do you mean? He said, a Jew is never alone. There's no such thing as being alone. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty, is always together wherever you are with you. And there's a similar sense over here that if a person is sitting on his own, alone, let them open a book, a piece of something, and immediately we are connected with the divine energy in this universe. We're straight away connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's a very beautiful thing. And it's always there and available to us either in book form or something which we have in our head, something which we can recite, something which we say, we are never alone. And that's the beauty of this Mishnah, that even if one single Jew sits alone, don't ever imagine for a moment that you are alone, because we are never alone in this world.